Move fast and break things. I thought long and hard about this quote over the past few months. It was a day like any other when the perfect person came to mind. No one more than him suits this ethos better. I'm talking about my neighbor, Gigi, Galileo Galilei. Galileo lived in Padua in the late 1500s, and he worked as a professor at the university. What you probably don't know is that if he were alive today, he would be my neighbor. Galileo split history in two, as he advocated for the acceptance of the heliocentric theory. He was an unparalleled innovator. In fact, we remember him today as the father of modern science and as someone who challenged his time. Galileo embodies what Steve Jobs encourages all young people to be: hungry and foolish. Galileo, before breaking the rules, developed and left us with an inheritance, a method, rather the method. That method that all innovators have assimilated into their DNA. The method is a thing that shouldn't be broken, and today it should concern us all. There are some recipes that should never be changed, like my grandmother's carbonara. The scientific method is the immortal recipe of innovation. The scientific method consists of several well-defined phases. It all begins with an idea, an intuition, a stroke of genius, a bold theory that challenges common sense. The scientist then formulates hypotheses and asks questions based on this foundation, seeking clear answers through a series of rigorous experiments, constantly questioning oneself. If the experiment don't match the initial hypothesis, this hypothesis must be modified. Conversely, if the experiment confirms the hypothesis, one can trust the veracity of the hypothesis. Galileo used the telescope, well known to the Dutch for hunting, in a completely different way, pointing it towards the sky and opening the doors to understanding the universe in ways never seen before. Galileo teaches us to think out of the box and to change perspective. For example, in today's world, Phil Knight, founder of Nike, was inspired by a waffle iron to develop the first Nike shoe. Galileo's formalization of the scientific method gave creative people a very powerful tool, a detailed guide on the steps to create innovation. The method is most effective when implemented and put into action. Today, we must continue believing in and enforcing the principle of the method, to protect what we consider truthful and real. How? Through effective communication and through clear scientific divulgation on experiment and creative thoughts. At the same time, we must find completeness in the rationality of data that cannot be contradicted, data that everyone must trust, a perfect synthesis, human intuition and scientific rigor. Today we are exposed to information that is believed to be factual only because it is disseminated and shared by millions of users on social media. We inform ourselves through applications developed by artificial intelligence, whose knowledge is based on data collected on the internet. For this reason, it is more important than ever today to question what we see and maintain rigor in discerning what is true from what is not. How? Through the legacy of our friend Gigi. As leaders of the future, we must carry forward the approach set by our predecessor and strive towards progress and innovation. Naturally, we must not shy away from breaking the mold and be quick on our feet to develop breakthrough innovation that can solve problems of the modern world. However, this should never be at the expense of core principles like those of the scientific method, because today, in this world, it's really easy to spread misinformation through various channels everyone has access to. We must continue believing in science and continue learning from those who before us, like us, asked many questions. As Newton said, "If I've seen further, it's by standing on the shoulder of giants." Thanks a lot.